On August 27, 1977, radio telescopes around the world tuned into something incredible. For 30 minutes, they picked up a strong narrowband radio signal that appeared to come from somewhere in the constellation of Sagittarius. The signal was so unexpected and intriguing that scientists nicknamed it the wow signal. And they've been trying to figure out what it was ever since. Now, here's what makes this story so compelling. Scientists have never been able to verify whether the host signal was actually an extraterrestrial transmission. In other words, we don't know if we were contacted by aliens or if it was just some naturally occurring phenomenon. So did we receive a message from space or not? Well, let's explore the evidence together and see what we can uncover. First, let me tell you how this interstellar mystery began. On August 15, 1977, an Ohio State University researcher named Jerry Emmon was searching through data collected by the Big Air radio telescope. Jerry noticed something odd. There was this one particular set of readings that didn't seem right. When he looked at it, his initial reaction was that it must be some kind of mistake. But after reviewing the data again, he began to think that it might be something else, something extraordinary. What Jerry had discovered was a radio signal unlike any other he'd ever seen. It was incredibly narrow, meaning it had only a very slight variation in frequency, which is important because it showed that it was coming from a very specific place. Additionally, the signal was strong and lasted for 30 minutes. Jerry circled the anomaly and wrote the word "wow" in the margin of the printout. And from that moment, the name stuck. But even though Jerry recognized the significance of the signal, he didn't immediately jump to the conclusion that it was alien communication. Instead, he sent a memo to his colleagues, urging them to take another look at the data. Initially, no one paid much attention. Jerry continued his search, hoping to find similar signals that could confirm his suspicions. But what he found only made things more puzzling. Over the next few days, radio telescopes around the world started reporting similar signals that matched Jerry's observation. And while this lent credence to Jerry's claim, it also presented a new mystery. If this really was an alien transmission, why did multiple radio telescopes across the globe pick it up? This is where things get even stranger. On August 16, 1977, the WA signal was detected again. And this time it was picked up by 3 radio telescopes, one in Ohio and 2 in West Virginia. These telescopes were all part of the SETI project, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. However, when the team checked the data, they realized something disturbing. The signal wasn't coming from space at all. It seemed to have originated from within one of the telescopes itself. This led the researchers to conclude that the signal was most likely a human-made interference. They considered the possibility that it could be military-related, but quickly ruled that out. The signal was way too narrow to be used for radar or sonar. The researchers then focused on the possibility that the signal might have come from a satellite. This made sense because satellites are often equipped with radio transmitters and they move around, making their signals appear to be coming from different directions. Plus, it would explain why the signal was picked up by multiple telescopes on 2 separate occasions. However, there was a problem with this theory. At the time, the satellite that was closest to Earth was over the Pacific Ocean, and it was transmitting a continuous signal, not a narrow one. To solve this riddle, the researchers decided to check the list of satellites that were scheduled to be moved into position that week, and guess what they found? There was a satellite scheduled to be moved on August 15th, the exact date that the WA signal was first detected. Could this be a coincidence, or could the satellite have malfunctioned? Unfortunately, there was no way to know for sure. The satellite in question was classified, meaning its purpose and other details were top secret. It wasn't until years later that the Russians revealed that it was a classified satellite called Cosmos 954. But that was little comfort at the time. All the researchers had was speculation. Some believed that the signal was interference from a satellite. Others thought it was a natural phenomenon, and still others believed it was a sign of intelligent life beyond our planet. So, who was right? Well, today, the general consensus among astronomers is that the WA signal was almost certainly interference from a satellite. But here's the thing, we don't know for sure because no one knows what that satellite was doing over the Big Ear telescope in 1977. All we know is that it shouldn't have been there and that it was supposed to be transmitting a continuous signal, not a narrow one. But the fact remains that none of these theories fully explains the data that Jerriam first uncovered all those years ago. Sure, it's easy to dismiss the WOW signal as just another case of scientists jumping at shadows, but is it really that simple? Or could there be more to this mysterious transmission than meets the eye? In order to understand the full implications of the WOW signal, we need to talk about something called the Drake equation. This equation is used to estimate the number of civilizations in our galaxy with which communication might be possible. It takes into account factors such as the rate of star formation, the fraction of stars that have planets, the number of planets that could support life, and the length of time that life may exist on these planets. According to NASA, there could be as many as 100 billion Earth-like planets out there, but the chances of us finding intelligent life are slim because the universe is so vast. And because we don't know how likely it is for intelligent life to evolve. Despite the low odds, scientists continue to search for signs of life beyond our planet. And the WOW signal is one of the most tantalizing pieces of evidence we have ever found. It is important to note that the WOW signal isn't the only piece of evidence that suggests we aren't alone in the universe. There have been other strange signals that have been picked up by radio telescopes around the world, as well as unexplained aerial phenomena that have been observed in the sky. Together, this evidence paints a picture of a universe that is full of mysteries and wonders, and it suggests that we may not be alone in the end. Regardless of what the future holds, one thing is certain: the search for extraterrestrial life is one of the most exciting and important endeavors that humanity has ever undertaken. As we continue to explore the depths of space, we may just find that we are not alone. The WOW signal remains an enigma, a puzzle that scientists have been trying to solve for decades. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect of the WOW signal is not the answer, but the question it poses. Does this mysterious transmission really come from an alien civilization? While we may never know for sure, the possibility is both terrifying and exhilarating. The idea that there may be life out there beyond our planet is one of the most profound and awe-inspiring concepts that humans have ever conceived. The WOW signal serves as a reminder of just how much we don't know about the universe and the potential for discovery that lies ahead. Who knows what other mysteries and wonders await us in the depths of space? So do you believe that the WOW signal was a message from space? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm always eager to hear different perspectives on this intriguing topic. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching. Take care.